Yo people, welcome back to the YouTube channel. You already know what time it is. It's time for another video. Big up your damn selves in the building. Make sure you smash up that likes every single damn time and subscribe if you are new. I'm buzzing to bring the Chelsea season preview. That's the Premier League bread and butter, but also all extra competitions in domestics and abroad. But before we even get into that, we must tell you the good news. The community has a code. It's the FPL code. Make sure you check that out in the description. There's a link to join as well. The Lateness is Greatness League is active and ready. And make sure you sign up there before the deadline. There will be a winner and there will be a reward. So go there and enjoy. And also now we must talk about the last video that I uploaded because there was carnage in the comments. Premier League predictions 1 to 20 table went left. Man United fans are not happy. We can talk about this. Has it got anything to do with last season and you putting me in Conference League? No, it doesn't have anything to do with that. Now Chelsea, I put them in the top 4 and the comments were delirious. They were disgusted. They were discombobulated. They said I was deluded for putting Chelsea in the top 4. You've put them too high. You are on cloud 9. You are smoking some serious stuff. And I said, wow, this is crazy. This is a figure of my imagination, my creation, just to put Chelsea into a position that after 1 billion they should be. Well, this cannot be. I'm going to set some serious figures on foreheads today. I'm going to put out some serious expectations for individuals and collective because Chelsea, people should not be rolling their eyes or flabbergasted or dropping jaws for Chelsea being in the top 4. There's just no way. But it is realistic and it's reality. And even Chelsea fans in the comments of the last video were also telling me you've done too much dip on the chip, too much icing on the cake. But I'm going to stand on 10 toes and say I have Chelsea in the top 4 and this video is going to be an outline of what we need to do to make it into said top 4. So let's get into it. Wait right there, don't go anywhere. This video is sponsored by Odds Checker and their £1 million predictor. Free to play with a chance to win $1 million if you can pick that Premier League table to perfection. Now I've already put my positions in place. I've already swiped and slid and sorted everything. As you can see on screen, everything is exactly the same as it was in that predictions video. If you've seen it, if you haven't, I am keeping it consistent on all platforms. I've got Arsenal top of the league, unfortunately, regretfully. I've got Manchester City in second. Hopefully that is incorrect. But again, I'd like to win. So I've also got Chelsea in the top 4, but I've argued and animated the Man United fans with where I've placed them. And the Newcastle fans are actually also on my case now. I'm sorry about that, the Geordies. So yes, you can see it's all there for you to pick, play, and put together. And like I said, it's free. So click the link in the description, give it a go, and maybe you might be the winner. But please do gamble responsibly, 18+, and it is UK residents only. And I will see you on the other side. Try not to beat me, but big up your damn selves. So let's get into it. Now, I'm going to be using a lot of last season's data to kind of steer us to the right position and put us in the right place for this season. I'll start with the points tally. Bread and butter, Premier League, top 4 is the target. Last season, Chelsea got 63 points and it was way too little too late to make 4th. This season, the points tally is 72. I'm setting it at a very particular points tally and I'm going to tell you why. Because every single season since the 17-18 season, 72 points has been enough to make top 4. If you go through all of the years, all of the different teams that have made it, 72 points always gets you in. So it's a great average to take, it's a great target to hit, and that's what we're going with. So we've set our points tally. Now we need to talk about this defense because the defense was dirt last season. The defense was a disgracia, guys. It was the worst Chelsea defense on record since the Premier League began. Do you know how mad that is? Very mad. And we cannot have a repeat. We cannot do the nostalgia. We cannot run it back. So first of all, we need to ship less goals. Now let's go through how we can go about doing that. Firstly, the set piece coach coming in from Brentford. I am expecting to see a difference on set pieces from corners and free kicks from wide areas. I need those goalkeepers putting their hands above their heads and claiming the football. Not even just flapping. This ain't Flappy Bird. Claim the damn ball. And I need you to save shots, would you believe? And I need you to pick the right passes. Declan Rice does not play for us. He is not in Cobham anymore. Don't pass to him at home to Arsenal. I beg of you. And also, when we're talking about the defense, we've got to talk about the whole team. So we will. We got to talk about the wingers. I need work rate from Madueke, Mudryk, especially. We can also add Pedro Neto to this. Sterling, I do always say to remember he is getting older. He's nearly in his 30s. He's been playing since he's 17. There's a lot of mileage on the clock. His body is not the same body as the younger players out wide, so we can't expect the same mileage. He has put more yards in his career. He is going to run out of juice a lot earlier than the rest. It's just what I believe in. I don't want to make excuses, but I'm just trying to be fair. When it comes to Madueke and Mudryk, especially, you two are young chickens. You are young. You should be frolicking and flapping up and down the wings with no cares in the world. There is no question that your work rate should be on point. You're in the gym, Mudryk. You're lifting weights. You got the calves. I don't want to see nothing but help for those fullbacks. Don't let them be doubled up on. Do not let them be isolated and exposed. So we go now back to our fullbacks with the Gustos and the Reece Jameses and the Cucureas and the Chilwells. Again, your 1v1s are key. Just if you are inverting as well, try win the ball back in there. We don't necessarily have a destroyer, so it would be very helpful. And with the centre-backs, Levi Colwell, we'll start here with you. Wide areas, let's see an improvement on your defending 1v1. Let's see more pace and power in your defending. We know that you're a classy, good on the ball, foot on the ball, roly-poly, over the ball. I want to see more brute. And I'm not just talking about those little, back and forths with players when the ball is gone and the fight begins. In pre-season, we've seen it. I want to see it in the game. I need to see you putting down a marker on certain strikers, on players. I don't want to see you getting rolled over by Antonio. I don't want to see you getting rolled over by Hairline. I need you to start beefing out, get some strength in you, and really start to body people and shake them, because that's what defenders are meant to do. For all the good ball playing ability, you need to be stronger and faster and tougher than the people you're coming up against. Tossing, the same goes. You're a squad player, but handle business. Fofana, your pace is critical in that high line. Hope you recover from the injury. And Badiashile, please leave the bozo moments for last season. Leave the individual errors for last season. If you're stepping out, or Fofana in pre-season, if you're stepping out in that offside line, please make sure everyone steps out with you. Don't leave space for Isak to run off you. Don't leave space for Miley to flick it past you. And obviously Disasi, you're not the quickest, but if you can, just please win your aerial duels and body as many brothers as you can. And that's what I ask. So yeah, the likes of Fofana, Reece James, these guys need to be aiming to play minimum 28 Premier League games, because you guys have been injured for a while. Cucurella needs to be staying locked in, concentrated like it's Spain. I don't want to just see that on internationals and then hear songs and, then when you come back, we get moments of wild recklessness. And when it comes to the defense as well, we got to make sure we mention that midfield, because Lavia, Caicedo, you two in particular, I need you to keep things airtight. Win the ball back. I want to actually see you guys leading for tackles and interceptions at the end of the season, because we've just potentially, we'll see, lost Gallagher, who's playing in the under-23s right now in terms of his training. He's catching flights back and forth from Madrid. He is someone that led high for tackles and interceptions. So we can all joke about and say, oh, the grit, determination didn't matter or wasn't something that we rated or really warranted or needed. It is something important to mention. And it's something that will have to be replaced off the ball, because we can put as many ballers and as many technical players on the pitch as possible. And we can have lineups of Felix and Nkuku and Palmer and Neto in a 4 behind one striker. But off the ball, you will be killed. Off the ball, you will be dragged. Off the ball, you will be driven to a level of insanity that you're not ready for as a person, as a Chelsea fan. So who is going to bring balance? Who is going to bring balance to a team that needs to win football matches in real life? In reality, it's these two, Lavia and Caicedo, winning the ball back. Okechukwu, critical, really good in one of those preseason games where he gets his equalizer, or he gets his goal against Inter Milan. It's so critical that we win the ball back. It's so critical for any possession-based team, any team that wants to play on the front foot, to actually win the ball back. And that means high up the pitch. So, as I've mentioned our wingers, I'll now mention our forwards, because we're still talking about defense. It's critical that you press like Palmer. It's critical that you put the work in Jackson, in Nkuku, Pedro Neto, Sterling, to a degree. We'll see. The wingers, the young wingers, Shrewsbury Hall. You've got to win the ball back for us as early as possible. Pressing is part of possession. You see it at Man City, you see it at Liverpool in different degrees and in different ways. Arsenal, everyone, they all press. No possession-based team can lose the ball and then drop off and sit back and then wait and soak up pressure, because that's not a possession-based team. That's a team that counterattacks. That's a team that doesn't want the ball. That's a team that's happy to sit in and defend and then break. Are we trying to keep the ball? Yes. So then we need to get it back as soon as we lose it. So the whole team is playing a part defensively. So just before we get to attacking metrics, don't forget that. So now it's time to get into the more attacking, creative, assisting, putting smiles on faces side of the team. And that means we need to see better from certain individuals. And the first one is Enzo Fernandez. We are not doing Mr. Nice Guy anymore. You are now firmly cemented as a Chelsea player. You've been here for multiple seasons. You're one of the vice captains. I need to see assists. You are a chance creating midfielder. You are one of, if not, you should be one of the best passers in the Premier League. You need to be putting the ball on people's toes, on people's foreheads. I don't want to see anything other. I need to see more assists than 2 in the Premier League last season and 3 in all comps. I need to see 10 assists. 10 assists? I'm not even going to play games because Brennan Johnson got 10 assists last season. Pascal Gross got 10 assists last season. We had Gibbs White getting 10 assists last season. If these players can get 10 assists at their clubs, there's no reason why you can't aim for 10 assists. If you fall short and get 8, 9, but the performances are there, you're dictating games, you're controlling, you're putting your poise on proceedings, perfect. And get those other assists in other comps. But I need you to aim for that. I need you to strive for that. And Dewsbury Hall, you cannot be any worse than Gallagher. That's the man you're replacing. I don't like to do comparisons, but I just did it. One is exiting, it would seem. You've come in. You are the manager's man in terms of the system. You need to at least equal or better him. Simple as. He got 7 assists last season and 5 goals. That is your target. For me, 8 goals, 8 assists. It depends on your minutes. Of course, we put everything into perspective. You might not be a starter. I expect you to be a rotator. But if you are a starter consistently, 8 goals, 8 assists, I think it's a fair amount to ask of someone who's going to be playing in the left half space, most likely. Good luck to you, my brother. Moving on to the wingers. The wingers, I don't pull any punches, guys. The wingers is very simple. It doesn't take me 2 seconds to tell you what I expect from my wingers. You got the Netos, you got the Sterlings, Madueke and Mudryk. I'm not going through every single player you'll notice in our squad because I'm putting expectation upon seniors, not kids. Now, these seniors who have either cost a lot or earn a lot or both, double digits in goals and assists. You should be aiming for 10 goals, 10 assists. Simple in the Premier League. Now, in all comps, you can go higher and above and beyond. Feel free to overachieve. However, in the Premier League, 10 goals and 10 assists from wingers, that is what they should be aiming for if they have any sort of quality about them. And to play for this club, that's exactly what you need to have. So for Mudryk, Sterling, Neto and Madueke, it's all 10 goals, 10 assists a piece. Obviously, not everybody's going to get that because not everybody's going to get enough minutes to accumulate it. But if you want to start every game, and if you do start every game, that should be your target. That comes with decision making. That comes with high IQ, making sure that you're not greedy on 2v1s, making sure that you can cross a football. Sterling's crossing is something that will never improve. Unfortunately, he's too old for that. But Madueke and Mudryk, I need to see the crossing. I need to see delivery from wide areas, because if we do get Osimhen, asterisks, that brother can head the ball and you need to be able to put it on his forehead as well. You need to be able to make the most of that attribute, make the most of his quality. So there's no doubt. Whilst cutting inside, those are where the goals are coming from on your favoured foots. And Neto, new season, stay fit, please. Give me 25 Premier League games, please. And also, those are the metrics to hit. So now we move to our central players, Cole Palmer and Nkunku. Now, Cole Palmer massively overachieved last season. So I'm not going to say equal or better that, because we know he doesn't need to equal that to have a great season, because what he did was ridiculous. It was probably one of the best debut seasons I've ever seen from anyone, let alone for our club, right? Incredible statistics. 42 GA, 27 goals and 15 assists in all comps. I don't need you to do that again. If you do that again, you really are the coldest, yeah? But I think 15 goals, 10 assists is something to aim for, because it's not too much of a drop-off. But it's still very impressive. And it means maybe that other people have stepped up, right? If I'm asking other people to put their statistics up, that means maybe his statistics drop a little bit because now we're sharing and caring. Now we're not a one-man band. Now we're not, you know, Cole Palmer or bust. And that's what we want to be. We don't want to be heavily reliant on one person, one player to deliver the goods every single damn time. So I'm dropping his metrics because I'm raising others. And if he's carrying us like he did last year, then he's succeeded. He's incredible as an individual, but as a collective, we most likely have failed in some capacity. In Nkunku, he has no statistics to go off last season, so I'm just going with a brand new Nkunku and a quality Nkunku, a player that we all believe in, a player that can take free kicks, a player that we know can take pens even though Palmer will be on them, a player that can strike the ball probably better than anybody in our attack in terms of his out-and-out finishing. So I think 15 goals and 10 assists is, if you keep yourself fit, which you need to, is a target to aim for sure. You know, like I said, a lot of players, 10 assists means other people have to be clinical. So everybody needs to be finishing well for everybody to hit their assist metrics. But you are an intelligent player in between the lines that collects the ball off the midfielders and gives it to the attackers. You should be creating chances. The assists will hopefully be there if the striker is clinical. But we don't need to necessarily hang people on assists in terms of, we know, guys, that if the players are missing chances and big chances, it will show up in the underlying metrics that Nkunku and Palmer have created a lot of big chances and they're just not lucky with the finishing. So we can dive into that later on in the season if that remains the case. But just 10 assists for everyone is a lovely amount to just aim for. Go for it. And the strikers, that's the final part. And really, because Osimhen is still being spoken about, you have to put maybe asterisks with what I'm saying on Jackson, because let's be honest, if Osimhen comes in, Jackson's game time is going to significantly reduce. However, I'm going to just put down some bare basics because he got 14 Premier League goals last season, 17 in all comps. A lot of the metrics I've been given have all been Premier League based because cup competitions, how far we get varies depending on who we get difficulty-wise in domestic cups, and if we play Barnsley, we expect to go through. If we play Man City, maybe we don't. So everything I've given in terms of GA right now, so far in this video, has just been what I expect in the league, the bread and butter in the league. Like I said, if you can add more Palmer on your 10 assists, 15 goals target in Conference League, if you play, you might not play, it might be the fringe players that I haven't mentioned or the bench players or whatever, then of course go ahead and add. But this is just Premier League mainly. Now Jackson, like I said, 14 goals. And I'm just judging off goals. I'm not going to get into assists because he's a striker, bread and butter, put the ball in the back of the net. I really need him to improve his ball striking ability. The same way I need Mudryk to improve his dribbling, Madueke to improve his decision making, I need my brother Jackson to improve his finishing. Pick your corners, nestle the net, give me crisp finishing, give me composure. I think 14 goals was good. Can you get me 18 Premier League goals, Jackson? That would be nice. It's only 4 more. I'm not trying to take the piss here, go above and beyond, because there's big hitters in this league that have cost big money, much more, double than Jackson, that would struggle to even utter 20 goals out of their mouth. So I'm going to just say 18. It's a nice number to go for. It's a nice little increase. And I think it would be a nice step. Obviously, 20 is the dream for a Premier League striker. Especially when you're chasing top 4. That's the kind of pressure that Osimhen would have on him if he was to arrive. I'd expect more goals from him. I'd expect 20 upwards. And if he does come in, then obviously Jackson has to come down to maybe a 10 because he's not going to get the game time. But that's what it is right now for Nicholas Jackson. And also, keep off Snapchat. Now for the manager. What do we expect from Maresca? What can we really expect to end this video here on this note? I guess it's just flexibility in terms of adaptability. Be able to mix it up, be able to react, be proactive, not reactive, be open to change. Not in terms of your identity and your philosophy, but just in terms of your moving pieces. You've got a lot of quality at your disposal. You've got a lot of attributes. Let's see them. Let's see if we're 1-0 down with 30 minutes to go. Let's see a second striker come on. Let's really go for things in terms of chasing results. Let's utilize Reece James's crossing ability when he comes back from injury and suspension. Let's really make sure we amplify attributes and minimize weaknesses. Let's not misprofile players. Let's not come out in press conferences and say wacky shit that doesn't make any sense. Let's make sure that we hold ourselves accountable when we do things wrong. Let's hold the players accountable like we did with the penalty situation in pre-season, already saying, he is my taker. Let's just be fun. Make a connection with the fans. They love it at Stamford Bridge. Give them a little clap, dive into the crowd, knee slide if you wish. Let's just make it a fun season at least. And that starts with personality, and with obviously professionalism as well. And I'm not going to ask you to say anything wild because you may get in trouble for it, but if you have any opportunity and the referees start moving mad, please cuss the crap out. No. I just don't want to be taken for a mug, and neither do you. Don't let these referees walk all over us. I say that because Anthony Taylor is coming soon. Manchester City confirmed. So yeah, not many and massive expectations on Maresca because he's a novice in this league. But I'm enjoying the ride, I guess. I'm enjoying the random journey that we're moving on with you. So let's see how it all goes. And yeah, you won't be the one held accountable for me when it's all said and done on the season. That will be the hierarchy. So yeah, have fun with the role, bro. Looking forward to seeing what you've got for us in terms of the football. And yeah, that's it, guys, really. There's not really much more to it. Those are my expectations for the season coming up. Those are the standards being set around here. Make sure you guys give me what your expectations are. In terms of cup competitions, it's obvious. Win the Conference League. I don't need to even get into it because we don't even know who we're even playing because it's not being sorted and settled. But win the Conference League and try and win another domestic cup on top. But it's not do or die if you don't get to a final, semi-final. But yeah, you need to pick up something. Leave with something. And top four, like I said, is a must. Let me know what you think is a must in the comments down below. Make sure you smash up the likes and I'll see you guys next time in a bit, people. Peace.